Well, good morning to everyone. Another beautiful Saturday morning. It's 7 a.m. and I would like to welcome you to another episode of Coffee, Ideas, and Connecting with Alejandro. I just want to introduce myself for those of you who don't know who I am. My name is Alejandro Tornato, and I am a proud certified speaker, coach, and trainer with the John Maxwell team. In addition to that, I am the owner of alejandrotornato.com, a catalyst for personal growth, professional development, leadership, and intentional living. I wanted to add that because I think that we cannot do anything in life if we are not intentional about it. The secret is not to have lots of intentions. The secret is to be intentional. And I want to help as many people as I possibly can to go from intention-minded to a mindset of becoming intentional every single day. Becoming intentional every single day. And I know that I skipped a couple of Saturdays, but I am so thrilled and so happy to be here once again. And I'm thrilled for the episode this morning. And I entitled this episode, Eagles versus Turkeys, or Eagles and Turkeys. Now, I know what you may be thinking right now. Either this guy lacks creativity for a proper title, and I can tell you, sometimes, when I prepare presentations and keynote talks, I have all the content and I prepare everything, and then I say to myself, I don't have a title. And so I have to spend time putting a title to a presentation. So you might be thinking that I am not too creative in putting titles, but this one is Eagles and Turkeys, or Eagles or Turkeys. Now, stay with me a little while if you don't know what I'm going to be sharing with you, because when we look at these two creatures, an eagle and a turkey, we are going to be learning a few valuable lessons. So be patient, stay with me a little bit longer, and everything will be revealed. I promise you. That is my guaranteed on this Saturday morning. You see, the truth is this. You cannot soar like eagles when you surround yourself with turkeys. Let me repeat that once again. You cannot soar like eagles when you surround yourself with turkeys. Now, I have been pondering this idea of eagles versus turkeys for quite some time. And it was even stronger, recently, just a little while ago, that I had yet another opportunity to attend one of the two international Maxwell certifications that happened in Orlando, Florida. Now, I personally certified as a speaker, coach, and trainer with the John Maxwell team back in March of 2016. Then a year later, I joined the mentorship program, which is the next step in their growth journey. I mean, you go to Orlando, you become certified, and then you can move up into the mentorship program, which you have more resources and you have more time to spend with the mentors and the faculty. And the certification for brand new coaches consists of just 3 days of intensive, packed teaching sessions from the faculty. However, as an alumni and a member of the mentorship program, the day before the start of the certification, we have a full day, it's a complete full day that is called Think Tank Day with additional teaching sessions. And this time I was enjoying one of the breaks in between sessions, talking to friends and catching up, with people that I knew and making new connections. And I was contemplating in my mind this idea of the difference between these two creatures, an eagle and a turkey. And the difference between these two is one of capability. An eagle knows how to soar, while a turkey can only scratch in the dirt. An eagle soars. And a little bit later on, I'll share with you the definition of what soar is. What is that an eagle soars, while a turkey only scratches in the dirt. Now let's take a look at both of them, the eagle and the turkey, and examine how they live and how they communicate. The eagle is recognized as the king of birds by reason of his great size, wingspan, his remarkable power of flight, and his extremely sharp and focused vision. You see, a vision can lock into a prey from a very long way away, and it just goes and grabs it. So, extraordinary vision. The eagle also builds his home in very high places, where the atmosphere is always below freezing. And then they descend to the warm earth almost every day. They have great strength. The eagle is also known to be a very intelligent bird. A characteristic of eagles is the fact that not only they can fly with great style and magnificence, but they can also soar. And this word soar literally means to fly and rise high in the air. You see, eagles, you don't see them at the bottom of mountains. You see them right at the top and even higher. That's where the eagle feels comfortable. It's outside of that comfort zone. They just want to soar even higher. Eagles exert themselves to reach higher and higher, and they continuously push their own limits to become even greater. They push their own limits to become even greater. They are never satisfied with the place they currently are. For them, there's always a higher and better place to move to. The same happens with us when we live like eagles. There is an inner dissatisfaction with our present circumstances and an inner desire to strive to be more, to do more, and to have more. This is an eagle character trait. To be more, to do more, and to have more. You see, there's nothing wrong. Many people think that just wanting to have more, whether it be having more money, having more opportunities, having more of life, is a sin or is something that we should not be striving for. But as spiritual beings, we have the right to aspire to be more, to do more, and to have more. We don't have to stay where we are. I think that that's a mistake. That is a sin, to just be living at the bottom of the mountain, just in a state of mediocrity. That is the wrong thing to do. But to soar like an eagle, to try to be better, to try to enhance our lives, there's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, we ought to do that every single day. Now, let me tell you a little bit about turkeys. Turkeys are considered to be bird-brained. They're not as intelligent as eagles, and in many cases, they peck each other to death if they don't receive proper care. Can you imagine? The turkeys, they just fight against one another and they peck each other to death when they don't receive proper care. I guess turkeys are prone to temper tantrums. A temper tantrum turkey. So many people, they are given to temper tantrums if they don't get what they want, as opposed to exercise creativity to see what else they can do to avoid obstacles. They come to an obstacle, then they show who they really are by becoming temper tantrum people. Turkeys are very high maintenance birds because they cannot fly, they cannot defend themselves, and they need to be fed and be taken care of. Eagles, on the other hand, are very low maintenance. And isn't that what happens? Okay, you can be a victim, very high maintenance, and becoming a professional complainer, or you can be a leader and have vision and be low maintenance as an eagle and not a turkey. Now, there is a story that I want to share with you about an American Indian who found an eagle's egg and put it into the nest of a prairie chicken. The eaglet hatched with the brood of chicks and grew up with them, day after day after day. All its life, the changeling eagle thought it was a prairie chicken. It did what the prairie chickens did. It scratched in the dirt for seeds and insects to eat. It clucked and it cackled and flew in a brief thrashing of wings and flurry of feathers, no more than a few feet off the ground. After all, that's how prairie chickens were supposed to fly. Now, many years went by, and the changeling eagle grew very old. One day, it saw a magnificent bird far above in the cloudless sky, hanging with graceful majesty on the powerful wind currents, and it soared with scarcely a bit of its strong golden wings. "What a beautiful bird," said the changeling eagle to its neighbor. "What is it?" "Oh, that's an eagle, the chief of the birds," the neighbor replied. "But don't give it a second thought. You could never be like him." So the changeling eagle never gave it a second thought. Throughout its entire life, the changeling eagle prided itself as being a prairie chicken, and he died thinking it was a prairie chicken. Now, I want to be very honest with all of you. Every time, and I read this story several times, and every time that I read this story, I get a little bit emotional inside of me, because I can visualize this poor little eaglet. He wasn't born to be a chicken, but he surrounded himself. He was put in an environment that the only thing that he saw every single day, the only thing that he experienced every single day, the only company that he kept every single day was the company of chickens. And then his belief system acted as if he was a chicken, even though by nature he was created to be a majestic, soaring eagle. And you see, when he asked the question, and he looked into the sky and he says, "What is that bird there?" The neighbor said, "Oh, that's an eagle. That's the chief of the birds." And perhaps in that eagle, so-called chicken, there was perhaps a desire to be just like that eagle. And he could have been that eagle because he was an eagle. He was born an eagle. He was born to soar, not to scratch in the dirt. But the neighbor said, hey, don't give it another thought. You could never be like him. And isn't it sometimes the case that when we surround with certain people and we tell them what we want to achieve in life, the goals that we have, the dreams that we have, the potential that we have, and they come back to us and they replied, "Oh, don't even think of that. I don't think that opportunity is for you. I don't think that project is for you. And then we don't do it. And then we squander all that potential that we have been born with because we believe in what other people tell us to believe. Now, keep in mind that we have personal differences and very unique gifts that God has given to us. And in order to soar like an eagle, we must surround ourselves with positive experiences and positive people. Of course, no one wants to end up like that eagle who thought he was a chicken. Just as the eagle, when placed in an inferior environment, we become inferior when we place ourselves in such a place. So not to be inferior or less than what we ought to be, it is imperative that we surround ourselves with people who can help us grow, who can stimulate us, who can point us in the right direction and help us when we stumble, give us hope when we are down, and lead us to God or Spirit when our spiritual life is scratching in the dirt. And you see, this meditation, this thinking about turkeys and eagles, when I was in Orlando, participating of the International Maxwell Certification Conference, I was thinking to myself, this is the place that I need to be. And I need to be frequently. Because this is a place where not only I can recharge myself, but I can be stimulated to reach higher places, to keep soaring like eagles and not scratching the dirt. You see, that is a place where I can connect with like-minded individuals who are also striving and soaring like eagles. You see, never surround yourself with people, with experiences, with environments that are going to bring you down to the level of a turkey or a chicken. Because let me tell you, you are not a turkey. You are not a chicken. You have been born as a spiritual being to soar in the highest. As Les Brown would say, there is potential. There is greatness inside of you. There's greatness inside of all of us. It's just a matter of letting that greatness out, expressing that greatness and that potential every single day. Now let me ask you a question just to wrap all this up. I mean, do you want to soar like an eagle? Or do you want to gobble like a turkey? It is a decision, and it is a decision, an individual decision and a personal decision that we have to make. And sometimes we have to make it every single day when we get up in the morning. How am I going to show up in the world today? Am I going to be just flapping my wings just a little feet off the ground like a turkey? Or am I going to begin flying and soaring like a magnificent and majestic eagle? So that's something that we need to think every single day. And as far as I'm concerned, I want to soar like an eagle. And I want to help other people soar like an eagle. I don't want to soar by myself. I want to soar in the company of other people whose beliefs are similar to mine, that I can grow with them as we soar together. So, would you come and soar and fly to the highest peaks and even higher with me? Are we eagles every single day? I hope that we are. So, thank you so very much for staying with me another time of coffee, ideas, and connecting with Alejandro. And one thing that I haven't done, how could I possibly have forgotten this? I mean, this is a coffee, this is a space where not only, we share ideas and we connect, but we enjoy a good cup of coffee. And so, cheers. Let me just... Always a good cup of coffee in the morning is, I don't know whether eagles, drink coffee or not, but I am one of those eagles, who loves a good cup of coffee. So, thank you very much, for your time. It's been a pleasure. It's been a delight being with all of you. Have a great rest of the day and a great weekend. And as always, and as I do when I do my podcasts, at the end I always remind people of these three things. Be kind, be passionate, and be well.